Welcome to the Fabulous Health Cooking Show, where we make awesome whole food, plant-based recipes that are healthy and delicious. I'm Terry Chrisman, your plant-based nutritionist, and I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible avoid disease and live long, happy lives full of vitality. I'm joined by my co-host, Susie Lybarger, who reversed her ulcerative colitis and lost almost 60 pounds in the process just by switching to a whole food, plant-based diet. Hey, Susie, how you doing, lovely?
Good, Terry. How are you doing?
Welcome to the first Fabulous Health Show Cooking Show for 2023. Awesome.
I can't believe it. Time's going by too fast.
Yeah, that's true. So hi, everybody. If you are joining us live on Facebook, thank you so much. Give us a thumbs up. Say hi. We're all up for that. And if you're joining us on YouTube, again, you can ask questions. Now, I do want to have full disclaimer today. This video is pre-recorded just a few days before it's playing live. But Susie Ann and I are in the comments. We are live online now. And if you have any comments at all, we would like you to ask them, to ask the questions, have your comments, put them in the comments of the live feed, and we will see it because we will be sitting there live. The reason why we are pre-recording this time is because look behind me. No kitchen. I'm renovating my kitchen. I have zero kitchen. Susie Ann's going to be the cooking genius today. It's going to be awesome. And also, we just wanted to try out this technology, use it once or twice just to make sure it all flows beautifully. And then next time, probably next time we'll do it live. What do you think, Susie Ann? You up for that?
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
So this is going to go live on Saturday nights, 7 p.m. CST if you're in America. You can work out the time zone in your time zone if you're in Australia or England or something. Once a month, the first Saturday of the month. And the reason why we're doing it at that time and not any other is because the lovely robots at Facebook told me that's when you're all online and that's when you want to watch it. So that's when we're doing it. So Susie Ann, before we start, I just want to tell you about my cup of tea. See my beautiful Dalmatians, aren't they gorgeous?
Beautiful.
For those people who know me, I had a gorgeous Dalmatian called Safi. She lived till she was 14 years old. I loved her to death. And so I bought these beautiful cups. They're from a lady in England called Sophie Elport, and they're the best thing. And I want to do a shameless plug, if you don't mind, Suze. I'll just put myself up here for a minute.
Okay.
This is the milk I'm putting into my tea. It's from Joy. Joy stands for just one ingredient, and the only ingredient in this is oats, and it's instant. So all you do, you don't have to keep your milk in the fridge and let it go manky. You just scoop out some and stick it in your cup of tea, and it's instant. You just stir it in, and it's awesome. So you can get Joy on my website, fabuloushealth.net. I will stick it in the comments for you so that you can go and check it out. Or the other thing is they have just started selling in the Pacific Northwest, so places like Washington and Portland and places like that, Oregon, at Costco. Get a load of that. So that's pretty awesome. Susie Ann, you've buggered off on me. What are you doing?
Oh, my goodness gracious. You surprised me. I was grabbing a tablespoon.
All right, talk to me, lovely girl. What are we making today?
Today we are making a quick and easy meal. If you've been working all day and you're tired, you get home, you just want to throw something together that's really fast. These are going to be black bean and corn tostadas, or not tostadas, taquitos. And that's pretty much it. And then we're going to be making a mayonnaise to dip them in. That's going to have a little bit of barbecue sauce in it. I don't know what you would call that. What do you call that when you add stuff to mayonnaise?
Well, there's a thing called remoulade, which is, it's French. And it's kind of like mayonnaise and mustard and some spicy business, and it's pink and it's delicious. So I think what we're going to do with this mayonnaise recipe is make a basic mayonnaise, and then we'll give people options to spice it up or add different flavors. So, for example, actually, I don't want to spoil it. We'll do it when we get there.
Okay, let's do it when we get there.
The thing about the thing about plant-based eating is that you want it to be really, really simple. You don't want to have a mayonnaise recipe and a remoulade recipe and a tzatziki recipe and a this recipe and a that recipe, because, dude, that's just too much effort. How about we have one recipe and then we just add different spices or herbs, pardon me, or flavorings to it, and we call it something else.
Yep.
Which is the way I cook anyway. So
yeah.
It's like I make a standard spaghetti sauce, tomatoes, onions, spaghetti sauce. I add chili beans and chili to it and call it chili. I add Italian herbs to it and call it spaghetti sauce. You know what I mean? Like I add curry to it and veggies and call it curry. Like it's the same recipe. You just add different flavors. But I'm really excited about these taquitos of yours because you posted the pictures of these in the group a few weeks ago, and they looked absolutely delicious and gorgeous and so easy. And lots of people have been asking, how do you make them? So stay tuned, everybody. Susie's going to tell us, and I will.
Surprisingly simple.
And you just get to it, darling.
Now I'm going to move my camera down to where my work area is so that you guys can watch me do my thing. And Terry, we can just communicate or whatever while I'm doing that. So this is my cutting my area here. So for the taquitos, I'm making a decent sized batch. So I got 2 cans, and these are organic black beans, and they're rinsed and drained. And so I'm just going to put these in here. And then I add 1 can of corn that's organic, rinsed and drained.
So if you don't want to use canned beans and canned corn, I actually had somebody in the group the other day saying I don't like eating canned food, and that's fair enough.
And the celery. So I'm just going to chop this up while we're talking here.
Oh, okay, cool. So you could use dried beans and put them in the Instant Pot, and you could cook them first. And I do that because, number one, they're cheaper. Number two, they don't have salt in them. And number 3, I can freeze them in Ziploc bags and just grab them whenever I want. Look, I buy canned beans occasionally, but mostly I buy dried beans because it's just so easy to shove them in an Instant Pot. 20 minutes later, you come back and they're all done. And the same with your corn. Look, you could buy ears of corn if it was summer and then shuck your corn yourself. Like, who's going to do that? Not me. But you can buy frozen corn. Trader Joe's does this awesome corn, and it's fire roasted. So it's got
that's really good, actually.
Yes, yummy flavor. So don't stress. Susie's just using the cans because it's easy and quick. But if you don't want to use cans, you don't have to use cans. And then the celery, well, I don't think you can buy canned celery. Please don't.
Or frozen either. It'd probably be pretty mushy. So
you know what? I grow my own celery and I froze it, and it was perfect for soups and things because it's going to get mushy anyway. But for
and you don't have to
like
be a professional chef to do this either. You can tell I'm not like a professional chef.
You're awesome. What are you talking about?
You just make it work.
You're doing a really, really good job. So you saw that Susie, she sliced her celery lengthways first so that she could have smaller pieces, and then she sliced them sideways, and that gives her all the pieces are the same size. And is that important in this recipe, Suze?
I like to put the celery in there. It just gives it a little extra crunch. And I like to put the corn in there because it gives it a little bit of sweetness in there when you bite into the corn. And just, I like different textures when I'm eating. I don't like to have bland, textures and things. And this is kind of the glue that holds it all together. I use this Primal Kitchen Hawaiian barbecue. Oh, there I'm back. And all the ingredients are clean for whole food plant-based eating. There's nothing in here you have to worry about. There's no oil. I don't even think they put a little bit of sea salt. Now I have not.
Show it again, Suze. I've made you large. Show it really close.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there it is.
I love
that brand.
Yeah. And they do put a little bit of sea salt in here, and I have not omitted salt completely from my diet. Some people are completely SOS free, but me, I still will do a little bit of salt. So
it's interesting that you say that. I am SOS free too, but I was reading the starch solution from Dr. John McDougall, and he's not salt free. So I guess it all depends on what you want to achieve. So, for example, I have a genetic propensity for high blood pressure, so I stay away from salt. If you have a genetic propensity for low blood pressure, so you don't need to stay away from salt.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with my blood pressure.
Yeah.
Not so far, and I don't think I ever will now, because, you know, the way we eat is so clean and good that I don't think we ever will have blood pressure issues.
Now, if somebody didn't want to use that primal Hawaiian sauce, what do you reckon you could put in there instead to give it some flavor?
Gosh, you could put any kind of barbecue sauce you want, chipotle, or like what do they usually use for taquitos? Like buffalo sauce or something.
Okay.
You know, that's what I would do. Or just, you know, garlic powder. You could put your own garlic powder and onion powder and just put seasonings in there, and maybe not even a sauce.
Yeah,
I recommend a little bit of something in there, though, to kind of hold everything together, to give it a little bit of moisture.
Yeah, you could put some tomato sauce, you know, just the squashed up tomatoes.
Right.
They're really good. Actually, I might have some. Let me see if I've got some here.
Okay, that looks pretty good.
This is I'm back. This is, I'm just going to put the camera on me for a minute while Susie does that. This is the sauce that I use. It's Muir Glen. Yeah, look, it's expensive. Sometimes this Muir Glen stuff at the Whole Foods is like $2.69 or something a can, which is a ton for one little can of tomato sauce. It's in a BPA-free can, which is really important. But do you know what else? Whole Foods had a sale and these were 99 cents and I bought like 50 of them. So then I didn't need to buy any for the rest of the year. And I think Sprouts too, if you're in an area that has a Sprouts, they do them cheap sometimes too. So just look out for things like that on sale. And it doesn't have to be this brand, but if you are going to buy things in cans, please get the BPA-free liner because BPA is bad for your health, particularly if you're a woman of childbearing age and you want to have a baby. You do not want to be putting BPA into your body. All right, Suze, go for it.
That's okay. Now I'm just going to put, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon or two of this filling in each of these taquitos. I'm just using corn tortillas. And then I just roll it up and I lay it seam side down on my baking tray here.
And I see you using that mat too that makes it not
stick.
This
is a silicone baking mat. It just helps keep the tray cleaner because it's easier to clean this mat than it is to clean the metal tray if it gets stuck on there a little bit. But you know, surprisingly enough, the cleanup from whole food plant-based cooking is so much easier because there's the oils that stick to your pans and turn black and it's like concrete on there. You don't get that with this whole food plant-based cooking. The cleanup in your dishes is so much easier. You can imagine what that's doing inside your body, those oils and everything, if it'll do that to your pots and pans. And so we just wrap up a few of these.
Hey, I got to tell you something about the silicone mat. I bought them and I didn't realize you can't cut on them. And I cut mine.
Oh, did you? I don't cut on mine.
Shred. I don't know what I was making, like brownies or something like that, and I decided to cut them into pieces. I sliced it into pieces. I was like, oops, do not cut on the silicone mat.
Yeah, they're not completely damage proof, but I think they're good up to like 500 degrees in your oven though. They can take a lot of heat.
And they've got some metal mesh inside them.
Yes, they do. To give them their like holding power. So this is all I do. And I've already got my oven preheated. And all I do is I just bake these at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go put these in I have a Breville that I use, my little countertop little guy. And then what I do, this is great leftover too. I'll just put this in a glass container and keep it in my refrigerator. And if I want taquitos tomorrow, I'll just throw a couple in a thing and bake them for 20 minutes and they're done. This is great leftover.
That's a great idea, actually. Let's see your beautiful face, lovely.
Okay, just one second here. Oh gosh.
You
I'm
are.
not beautiful, but we try. We do our
Yes,
best.
you are. Absolutely. So that is so simple. Let's talk about, while they're cooking, let's talk about, did you turn it on? Did you press go?
It's on. It's going.
Making sure. Just making sure.
Make sure
Yeah.
we got the minutes right.
Now, Susie's got the Breville and I've got the Breville. And look, the Breville's $400. And I understand if, the Breville is too expensive for you. You don't have to run out and spend $400 on a Breville. But you can put these in your oven as well if you can get your oven to temperature. And then they'll be just as good. I wouldn't microwave them because you want them crispy, don't you?
Oh yeah, you definitely got to bake them. And I'm just using the bake. I'm not using the air fry. So I'm just using my smaller oven because it heats up faster and
I do that
be
too.
just fine in a regular oven too.
Before I took my kitchen out, I had 2 regular sized ovens in it and my Breville. So I had 3 ovens in my kitchen. And I think the 3.5 years that I've lived in this house, I've probably used both ovens once, maybe at Christmas time, and one oven like twice or 3 times because I just use the Breville all the time. So in my new kitchen design, one of the ovens is in the garage. It's staying in the garage until the other one breaks or fizzes out or something like that, because you just don't need to be turning. The problem with big ovens is they take 20 minutes to heat up. They heat up your whole house. Whereas the Breville, bang, within 5 minutes max, it's hot.
Yeah, max 5 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, in fact, I reckon probably about 2 minutes. It's really, really quick. But anyway, you don't need to spend the $400 on the Breville. Use a normal oven or, just use any old toaster oven, really.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a tiny kitchen, some people live in small apartments. I remember when we lived in Hong Kong, people had kitchens that didn't have ovens. Like you go to, because people didn't cook in Hong Kong. Everybody eats out in Hong Kong. And it's, space is a premium. Whereas in Texas, where everything's enormous, everybody's got huge kitchens. Hey, by the way, Susie Ann and I are both in Texas. So put your hand up and say hi if you're in Texas, because we like to meet people, don't we, Susie?
Yeah, so absolutely.
We would love to have a meetup and maybe have lunch together or just say hi, just to anybody who's in Texas. That'd be awesome. Or in
so much fun.
Sorry, baby?
That would be so much fun to have a meetup somewhere.
Yeah. Or Reno, Nevada, because I'm in Reno, Nevada a lot. So if you're in any of those 2 locations, send us a question, say hi, and we'll meet up and have lunch or something. There's some great places to eat too, even if we're not eating at home. Okay, so those little dudes are in the oven. What's going on now, Suze?
Now we're going to make this mayonnaise. I've never made this before, so this is a first for me too. I've never made this recipe before.
Yeah, this is my recipe. This is what I would be doing if I had a kitchen. Actually, I could probably do it with my blender, but it's all yours.
I can give you my unbiased opinion on if it tastes good, but I'm sure it will. If Terry eats it, I'm sure it's good. So, okay, now I have to follow this recipe that you gave me.
Oh yeah,
and everything just goes in. I'm just going to use my Vitamix. Is that good? Just throw everything in the Vitamix, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to read out the recipe to you?
Actually, I've got it right here in front of me. I'm going to be doubling it because if I really like it, I'm going to want to use it every day. So I'm going to put a whole block of tofu in the blender, and I've already drained the water off, but I didn't press it. So, because this is firm tofu, so I'm not going to drain the water off since it's going to be a sauce. So in there.
Hang on one, Susie. Just a thing is that if you would make mayonnaise out of silken tofu, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the silken tofu. You just use the firm and don't drain the water out. But if you want a really, really smooth mayo, just get the silken tofu. And you know what you can get? You can get firm silken tofu. I know that sounds weird, but you can. It's in those, the little boxes that you see. They're shelf stable and they're Japanese. I can't remember the brand name.
Oh, they're shelf stable? I did not know that.
Okay. And the box is completely they're in a Tetra Pak. I wish I could remember the name of them. But anyway, you can get.
Well, when you remember, put it in the comments below or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that. So
okay.
You can get firm silken tofu, which seems like a oxymoron, but it's not.
Right. So now it's calling for the single recipe is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I'm doubling it. So that's going to be 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon. So I'm just going to do 1/4 cup of lemon juice.
No, that's 4 tablespoons.
I'm going to guesstimate. Yeah, I'm just going to guesstimate about another tablespoon.
Right. No, just so that you know, Susie, 4 tablespoons is 1/4 cup.
I thought it was 3 tablespoons.
No, because there's 15 ml in each tablespoon, and there's 60 ml in 1/4 cup.
Okay, so mine's going to be really lemony because I added a little extra. But hey, I like lemon. So now I'm doing 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. So I've got these going in here.
And have you got black or white?
These, I believe they're black.
Okay, so if you use black chia seeds, your mayo will be gray. But if you use white chia seeds, your mayo will be white. But you know what? It doesn't matter. They're all
now, see, I didn't even realize there was a white chia seed. I just learned something new today. I never even knew that. Never even knew that. So now we're going to do 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar, which I have. Let me grab a teaspoon over here real quick. 1 teaspoon is right here. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar. Or no, 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar. This sounds like it's going to be so yummy and tangy. And I love tangy stuff. And then we have 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which is 1/4 cup, right? So I'm just going to do 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And put this on here. Okay. Then we have 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I'm just going to guess because it's so hard to get mustard in and out of teaspoons. That's about a teaspoon right there. Oh.
That's perfect.
I love mustard, so. And then it's calling for 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I do salt, so I'm just going to get my little.
So you can make this salt-free if you want.
You can. It probably will be great without salt because of all the tangy that we're putting in there.
That's right. So lemon juice is a really good salt substitute if you want to be salt-free, and I'm salt-free. And when I make this mayonnaise all the time, but I did go back to the source, the lady that invented this recipe. Her name is Jill McKeever, and she's on YouTube, and she's awesome. And I'm going to mute
you while I blend this up.
I am going to, can I mute you? I'm not sure.
It might automatically do it. You want me to just
hang on? Oh, no, hang on. Give me 1 second. Okay, you're muted. Go for it. So I got this recipe from Jill McKeever, and she is on YouTube. She's got like, I don't know, 700,000 followers or something. She is completely awesome. Jill, if you're watching this, thank you. I love you. I love your YouTube videos. They're just fantastic. And she used to make this mayonnaise with cashews instead of chia seeds. But cashews have a lot of fat, and we're trying to be low fat. And so one of her watchers of her YouTube channel, they actually suggested that you use chia seeds instead of cashews. And so that's what she did, and that's what I do, and it's awesome. And the reason for the chia seeds is that chia seeds, when they are broken up, they will expand up to 9 times their size, and they give the mayonnaise that, for want of a better word, that gelatinous kind of consistency, that viscosity that you want. If you don't use the chia seeds and you don't use the cashews, you might end up with a runny sauce rather than a thick mayo. And Susie, if you can hear me, you probably have to blend that for a long time just to break up all those chia seeds. You're still muted. Let me unmute you. Go.
Do I need to keep going till like, oh, I don't see any chia seeds? There's a few in here. Should I keep going?
Yeah, I'm going to mute you a minute, and then you can keep going.
Okay.
Another 30 seconds. Yeah, so let me talk to you now about this mayo and how this is a really good base recipe. So you can leave this as is and put it in your fridge and use it as mayonnaise on your sandwiches, or dip your celery in it, or whatever you want to do with it. Or you can use it as a base to dressings. And I like to use it as a base for creamy dressings. So I like things spicy. So I will put chili garlic sauce in it and make it spicy. You can add dill and garlic to it and turn it into a kind of tzatziki thing without the yogurt. You can also add lots and lots of garlic to it and call it aioli. So the options are, you know, just numerous, and as much, you know, whatever you want to do, just use it as a creamy base for anything that you want to be tangy and creamy. And this mayonnaise is really, really good for that. I like dipping my air fried fries into it. Okay, Suze, you're back.
Okay. I'm going to
taste it. Let's see if it's awesome.
That is so creamy. It's not even what I was expecting texture-wise. Because, you know, when you do tofu, and especially this firm tofu, you almost expect it to feel a little curdly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we kind of lost half your face though, but lovely.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me go
there
over
you
here.
Go. There you are.
Okay. You know how tofu, when if you don't, it's kind of curdly almost. It has a little bit of I can't explain it. This is so creamy, and I wonder if it's the chia seeds that are making it so creamy.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
and mine is a little extra lemony. It is a little bit lemony, but I like it.
Yeah. While you were blending and making all that noise, I was talking to everybody about the chia seeds and their creaminess. So when you watch this again, you'll know why it's so creamy.
Okay, good. Well, see, that explains it. This is delicious. I really can say I love this.
So how are your taquitos going? How many minutes they got left to go?
Okay, we have 6 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide this in half because I really like this mayonnaise. I don't want to put barbecue sauce in the whole thing. So I'm going to divide this in half and put some in a little jar. And then I'll put the barbecue sauce in and blend it up a little bit more. If that's okay, I'll just run over here and grab. Let me just run over and grab me a little jar.
You do that, and I'll talk to all the people. Okay. So if you're new to this group, I just want to talk to you about how we can help you. I don't know whether you know, but I am a whole food plant-based nutritionist. I have a master's in nutrition. I am board certified with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. So I have all the smarts, for want of a better word, and all the knowledge, and I live the life. So I've never suffered from debilitating disease. I didn't go from 300 pounds to 150 pounds in some miraculous kind of lifestyle change. I've wanted to live healthily and happily my entire life, and it's taken me basically 20 years of study and to and froing to work out that a whole food plant-based lifestyle is the way to go. I did lose my dad at a very, very young age, and he died of a massive heart attack at the age of 52. No warning whatsoever, no idea that he had heart disease, and it was all because of what he ate. And I don't wish that upon anybody. It's been dreadful growing up without a father, and it's horrifying to think that if only we knew. And that is really the impetus for me to help all of you, is that now we know better, we can do better. And if you're struggling with your weight, if you're struggling with your insulin resistance, or your blood pressure's high, or you're on cholesterol medication, or you've gone to the doctor and the doctor said, you know, these numbers are not good. You know, if you don't start, you know, changing, you might end up on all these medicines. Or maybe you're even on medicines and you don't like it, and you're just thinking, oh my God, is this my life? Am I just going to get sicker and sicker and have the last 15 years of my life be misery, guts, and death? No. If you want to change, this lifestyle can help you change. And that's exactly what happened to Susie. So Susie, while you're making the mayo and all that, why don't you tell people briefly about your story? Because you did go through a life-changing experience, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Back in 2005, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at 40, I think I was 41 back then. I can't do the math, but I think I was 41. And so I couldn't get it under control. I mean, they've tried medications. I was on steroids. I became steroid dependent, which means I was doing halfway okay as long as I was on the steroids, but then I would try to taper off and it would flare back up. And not a pretty picture. Ulcerative colitis is an awful autoimmune disease, and it makes you feel miserable. And so finally, they put me on a biologic medicine called Remicade, and I had one infusion of that. And it's like a chemotherapeutic kind of a drug. You go in the hospital and they put you in an IV and you're in there with all the other people getting their chemotherapies and stuff. And overnight, that drug put me in remission. But then 2 weeks later, I woke up and the whole right side of my body felt numb and tingly. And I thought my arm had just fallen asleep, like I was slept on it wrong or something. So I moved around and my arm never did wake up all the way. So I went back to the doctor and had to go see a neurologist, and they said it was like a neurological side effect from the Remicade, so I could never take that again.
Wow.
So, but it put me in remission, like literally almost overnight. I mean, it was that quick. And so I went down and saw a surgeon at UC Davis to talk about getting my large intestine removed, because that's technically the only cure right now for ulcerative colitis, is getting your colon removed and having a permanent ileostomy for the rest of your life. So I went down and got all that checked out. And then when I learned about it, I chickened out because I was feeling a lot better and I was in remission. I thought, I'm just going to put off the surgery, and if it comes back, then we'll talk about it again. And about 8 months later, it came back, and I just couldn't go through with the surgery for some reason. I just thought, I'm just going to see what I can do not to have that done. And over time, I got out of a stressful situation in my life. I got into a better situation in my life. Having less stress definitely makes it easier on me, because stress for me is my trigger. Or if I take antibiotics, it'll send me into a flare because it kills all the good gut bacteria in your system. So my most recent flare was it was April, May, June, July of 2021. I had oral surgery. I had to take some heavy duty antibiotics. I got into this really bad flare, couldn't get out of it, had to go on prednisone again, which to me was like, I just thought, okay, here we go down this big spiral. Now I'm going to get prednisone dependent again. But I had been starting to eat healthier by then. I had actually gone vegan, I think, by then, and was still kind of eating the cheap foods like the vegan mayonnaise and vegan cheese and things like that. But just eliminating the animal products from my diet was enough for me to be able to get off steroids successfully and sort of keep things calmed down. But once I went fully whole food plant-based, I mean, I felt better than I have in 17 years. I mean, really, I had a colonoscopy this last August. First colonoscopy I've ever had, where the doctor told me, I wouldn't even know you had this disease if you didn't tell me you had it, because your colon is perfect. There's no sign of disease, no inflammation. All my inflammatory markers are like undetectable now. My arthritis, my hands is gone. I've actually lost almost 70 pounds. I'm like 66 pounds I've lost so far. And the nice thing I love about this diet is you can eat until you're full. I don't watch my portion sizes. I'll have days where I almost eat too much. I'm thinking, man, I'm going to, they're done.
But your story is so compelling.
It's like, okay.
So that's awesome, Susie. So Susie is a walking, talking proof that this sort of lifestyle can reverse disease. And it's not just ulcerative colitis. So it can reduce diseases. It can reduce the risk of diabetes. It can reduce the risk of Susie's blenders going on. It can reduce your risk of Alzheimer's and stroke and so many other diseases, PCOS, cancers. The whole gamut can be reduced or even sometimes reversed. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm a nutritionist. Susie's not a doctor. If you have any questions at all about this lifestyle and whether it will work for you, reach out to me or go and see your doctor. And if your doctor says to you, oh, listen, you've got diabetes, it's hereditary and there's nothing you can do about it, Get another doctor. They don't know what they're talking about. You can absolutely do something about it. It's the food. It's what you eat. It's your lifestyle. And if you can change your lifestyle and you can start to eat whole plant foods in the way that they were grown, without preservatives, without animal products, without added oils, and maybe not added any added salt, no added sugar. If you can eat like that, you will see improvements. That's just the way it is. It's a fantastic way of eating. Oh, how come I'm here? This is weird. Let me see if I can make you big, Susie. Oh, look at that. Magic. And you are muted, so I'll unmute you. There you go.
Okay. Ta-da.
Higher. There.
Okay,
Lovely.
let me go like this. Let me do that. There we go.
So there's your mayo. Now, did you put the barbecue sauce in that mayo, or is it just plain mayo?
No, I put a little bit of the barbecue sauce in the mayo. I put about maybe a third of a cup in there.
Okay, so dip it in and taste it, and let's see.
It's going to be hot, but let's see. Oh, it's going to be so good. I just know it. Let me put the camera back up here now so you can see my reaction. Other than it's really hot. That mayo is unbelievable. It's so good with that barbecue sauce in there. And the taquitos taste really good. The shells are nice and crispy. It's really hot though. I'm not like Dylan on Will Your World. That guy puts like ragingly, searingly hot food in his mouth. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah,
He must be made out of asbestos or something, but I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, that's awesome, Suze.
I honestly really love this mayonnaise, Terry. This is great mayonnaise. And that's the truth. I'm so glad I separated half of it out because now I can use it on other things too.
That's right. That's right. Now, I put garlic in everything. I would put garlic in that as well. It's not in it's not in the original recipe, but I put garlic in everything. So
garlic would be amazing in that.
As I said while you were blending earlier, I told everybody how they could update that mayo to just different flavors and stuff like that. So, look, we did it. We did.
Yay! And we didn't bring the house down or anything.
Well done. The first Fabulous Health cooking show for 2023. Yep. It was awesome. Thank you so much for doing all the cooking for us. The next one will be on the first weekend of March. I don't know what day that is, but the first Saturday of March at 7 p.m. CST. And I will be in my Tahoe kitchen. So I will have a kitchen and we can make something together, and that will be awesome. I want to thank everybody for turning up and asking questions. If you are watching the replay, just do #replay. Scroll down through the comments and see if there's any questions that you wanted to ask that we've already been asked. And if you've asked questions on this live stream, I just want to say thank you so much for asking the questions. And for some reason, I've got a big thing on. There we go. I have to just. I don't know.
I thought I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, sorry. That was my fault. I was trying to turn this little question thing off, but it didn't work. Thank you so much for turning up. And next time we'll be fully live. So if you ask a question in the comments, we will actually answer it on the video.
Right.
Excellent. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Susie. And everybody have a fabulous evening. See you later.
Everybody take care.